So just like Sparking Zero, it's been over 10 years since the last Bleach game came out on console. That's right, Bleach Rebirth of Souls just dropped, and as someone who's been following this game since the initial trailer and just a huge Bleach fan in general, I had to drop in on day one. I've been cautiously optimistic about this one because look, anime games have come and gone, but not many of them quite hit the mark. Yeah. We're all looking at you, JJK Curse Clash. But listen, after spending all weekend with this game, I can confidently say that this game is different in the best possible way. I played a good chunk of the story mode, tested out most of the characters, and just got a good feel on how the game flows. So in this video, I want to explain why this Bleach game is the best Bleach game that we've gotten in years. It's also the only one we've gotten. So yeah, whether you're a longtime Bleach fan or just looking to pick this game up, this game should give you a good sense of what Rebirth of Souls is all about. Did I really just say that this game is going to give you a good sense of what this game is about? I meant video. Anyways, cue the dope ass opening. So to give you some context, I've been a Bleach fan for years. I remember watching the Soul Society arc weekly when I was an early teenager to reading the manga front to back. And yes, I've played almost every single Bleach game to come out. We're talking from Heat the Soul on PSP to Blade Battlers on PlayStation 2, even the mobile game Brave Souls. Look, to be honest with you, some of these games are really good and some of them are obviously not very good, but none of them quite capture what a true Bleach game could be. So when Rebirth of Souls was announced, I was hyped, but also a little nervous. Would this just be another fast-paced anime arena fighter trying to copy what works in other franchises, or would it actually feel like Bleach? And after playing it, I can definitely tell you, it's the latter. From the combat design to the visual style, this game is clearly trying to carve out its own identity, and it's one that finally feels true to the series. If you've been craving a Bleach game that actually respects the original show and doesn't just slap Ichigo into a generic system, this might be the one for you. This game doesn't feel rushed at all, and it's not trying to be Dragon Ball or Naruto. It's slower, more deliberate, and honestly, it works. So let's dive into why this game is actually pretty solid. The first thing that hit me when I booted up Rebirth of Souls was the presentation. The visuals are clean and the cel-shaded art style feels like a love letter to the anime. Characters look sharp, the effects on special moves are flashy without being too overwhelming, and even the menus have that slick Bleach aesthetic. It's not overly busy and it's pretty easy to tell what's going on mid-fight.
Such a hurry. Incredible! This isn't personal, but to restore peace. A small compassion. No fear. I won't waste any more time. I'm not dead just yet.
The sound design is another big win. The soundtrack leans into that classic Bleach energy. The opening movie has one of the best opening songs I've heard since the first Vinland Saga opening. The voice acting is also pretty solid too, albeit very annoying that the English voices are so off sync with the characters' lips.
What could squads 5, 11, 12 and the others even be thinking, I wonder? Brother.
But when you hear Ichigo yell Bankai or anything that Kenpachi says, it all just feels so authentic. Control-wise, I was honestly very surprised. This is not a button-mashing game. There's actually some real rhythm to the way you move, block, dodge, and combo. Attacks have impact, and you feel the weight behind each swing. The game encourages you to time your moves, bait your opponent, and commit to your strategy rather than just spamming. And trust me, this is not Sparking Zero. You can't spam. You'll just get wrecked. I played Ichigo first, of course, and switching into Bankai mid-fight felt so clean. His moveset completely shifts and it's way more fun than I expected. Then I tried Byakuya and he's completely different. He plays way different. And that's when I realized how much attention went into character variety in this game. Byakuya isn't just a reskin of Ichigo with pink petals. His whole style is more elegant and defensive. His Senbon Zakura lets him pull you in close or attack you far away. So he's real dangerous when you learn how to play him. It's refreshing when characters don't feel like clones of each other. There's definitely potential here for high skill matchups and learning curves across the roster. So yeah, within just the first hour or two, it's clear this game is built with intention. It's polished, responsive, and actually respects the series it's based on. Bleach has never been about spamming energy blasts. It's about duels, tension, and explosive payoff when someone finally releases their awakening move. And I think Rebirth of Souls actually captures that better than I expected.
I'll kill you.
So let's actually talk about the gameplay. Like I said, you can tell this game is not trying to be a hyperspeed combo spamming fighter. It's slower, more grounded, and honestly, that works way better for Bleach. You're not flying around in every direction like in some other anime games. This feels more like a duel. Every swing of your sword has weight, and every clash feels like it actually could turn the tide of the match. Fortunately, the control scheme is simple enough to jump into, but there's actually a lot of depth underneath. You got light attacks, heavy attacks, blocks, dodges, and a super meter. Nothing too wild, but the timing and positioning really matter here. It's not just about who hits first, it's about when you commit to an attack, how to read your opponent, and when you choose to transform. And when you finally get the chance to release your Bankai or Awakening mid-fight, it's a whole cinematic moment on its own. But it's also more than that, and I'll get to that in a minute. Overall, the combat feels tight, responsive, and deliberate. So let me just get straight into it. Combat revolves around managing two primary resources, Reishi and Konpaku. Reishi is basically your health bar. This indicates the amount of damage that you sustain throughout the match. Konpaku is the amount of lives that you have left, which is above your Reishi bar. Once you take down an opponent's Reishi below 30%, they enter a vulnerable state called Reishi depletion. This allows you to execute what's called a Kikon move. This finishing technique can destroy one or multiple other Konpaku.
Your sword. Slay your enemy. Why is it supposed to be like this?
Alternatively, by fully depleting a segment of their Reishi gauge, you can trigger a Soul Break, enabling a Kikon move that may eliminate multiple Konpaku at once. As the battle intensifies, your fighting spirit gauge builds up through inflicting and receiving damage. Once this gauge is full, the prompt Evolution will appear, indicating that you can activate your Awakening state.
Always be prepared, see? I'll get serious, just a bit.
Like I said earlier, this is more than just a cinematic scene. Entering this heightened state enhances your abilities, alters your movesets, and increases the effectiveness of your attacks, including the potential to destroy more Konpaku with each Kikon move. Additionally, the game features reverse actions, which are basically just moves that can shift the momentum of the fight. There are three types: Soul Reverse, which boosts spiritual pressure and recovers Reishi, Chain Reverse, which allows combo continuation and increased spiritual power, and Burst Reverse, which cancels opponent combos and restores your guard gauge. Mastering all of these mechanics is crucial for turning the tide of the battle and securing your victory. Overall, the combat's fluid, responsive, and very satisfying. Okay, before I get any farther in this video, let's talk about the roster. We all know that character rosters are a huge deal in anime games. Who can you play as? Who can you not play as? Who do they include? Who do they not include? Let's get into it. So this game has up to 33 playable characters from the anime series. And I think I failed to mention this earlier, but this game takes place from the beginning of Bleach to the end of when they beat Aizen. So there's no characters from the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, but that's all right. I mean, maybe they'll add them in, well, they're gonna add them in DLC, but maybe they'll make like a whole sequel or whatever. But at least we got some goated characters. I mean, we got Grimmjow, we got Ichigo's dad. Ichigo's dad's not there? Dude. Instead of Ichigo's dad, we got Cayenne Shiba. Who is this guy? I love Bleach, but who is Cayenne Shiba? Oh my god, are you telling me they added the guy from Rukia's flashback story thing? And not Ichigo's dad? Okay, whatever. Just saying, that's a big L. That's a big L, guys. I don't know who Cayenne Shiba is. Anyways, other than that big mistake in my opinion, every other character is awesome. Except, sorry, I wish they added like a couple of the visors too. But anyways, other than that, the roster is great. The roster is great. Like I said earlier, every single character is very, very different from one another. Byakuya is a completely different playstyle than Ichigo, Kenpachi is a way different playstyle than Tozen, so there's so much variety here to choose from. The only character that's locked is the final version of Ichigo, so you have to beat the story to get him. But other than that, everyone's unlocked right away. So for me personally, I've been maining Hollow Mask Ichigo just because he's dope. And I've also been trying to learn Toshiro, because I love Toshiro growing up. He was like my favorite character. Anyways, let's get into what makes this game so different. What really caught me off guard with Rebirth of Souls is how confidently it does its own thing. A lot of anime games these days, especially the ones tied to big shonen franchises, tend to follow the same blueprint. Fast-paced, flashy arena brawlers with tons of particle effects and auto combo systems. And to be honest with you, that's actually fine for some series, but not for Bleach. Bleach needed something different. This game understands that. It's not copying Ultimate Ninja Storm, and it's definitely not trying to be Sparking Zero. It's carving out its own lane. The pacing alone sets it apart. Most anime games are built around constant aggression. Dash in, combo, repeat. But here, there's a kind of tension that builds as you fight. You're feeling out your opponent, baiting his moves, waiting for the right moment to strike. It's slower, more tactical, and honestly, it makes those big moments hit way harder. When someone activates their Bankai or lands a well-timed counter, it's earned. That pacing shift is huge and it fits the Bleach vibe perfectly. Even the visual storytelling sets it apart. The use of slow motion finishers, the way the camera pans out during clashes, and the little cut-ins during ultimates, it all adds this dramatic flair that feels earned rather than overdone. All of that makes this game feel like a polished cinematic experience. And the bottom line is that this game isn't trying to chase trends. It's focused, intentional, and like I said earlier, it understands what makes Bleach unique. The spiritual power system, the tension in the battles, and of course the badass awakenings, it's all here. And that's what makes Rebirth of Souls different. It's not just a fighting game with Bleach characters, it's actually a Bleach game through and through. So as much as I like Rebirth of Souls, it's not a perfect game. You know, like I said earlier, there's a handful of characters that I would have preferred they added in the roster instead of some of the other ones, but that's not a huge deal. One of the biggest issues with this game so far is the PC optimization. It's absolutely awful. My game has crashed tons of times and I've had some weird graphical errors in it, so I'm hoping that'll get fixed at some point, but that's not really a gameplay issue, that's just a small gripe. Online play is also pretty rough. Matchmaking is a bit slow at times, and while I've had some decent matches, there's definitely some noticeable lag here and there. The netcode doesn't fully feel stable yet, and for a game that clearly wants to build a competitive player base, that's something they really need to address. If they can iron that out and add a ranked mode, this game will have a serious online scene, but it's not quite there yet. There's also a bit of an issue with content. Don't get me wrong, the roster is solid and there's enough here to get a feel for the mechanics and characters, but it still feels a little light at launch. The single player content especially could use more variety or story depth. It's pretty much all just arcade style fights and training modes. That said, none of these problems ruin the experience. They just hold it back from being a truly great one out of the gate. The core gameplay is strong, the art direction is on point, and there's clearly a solid foundation here. But if the devs want this game to really last, they're gonna need to make some changes and updates. So yeah, Rebirth of Souls has finally put Bleach back on the video game map. From Sparking Zero to now Rebirth of Souls, the quality in anime games have just gone up a huge amount. From the combat design to the way each character moves and fights, this game feels like Bleach. Like I said earlier, this game isn't just some generic anime fighter with Bleach characters slapped on top. It's a game that respects the vibe, the pacing, and the power scaling of the original series. The slower, more deliberate gameplay may not be for everyone, especially if you're coming from high-speed games like Storm or even Sparking Zero, but for me, that slower pace is so refreshing. It makes every hit feel earned and gives room for strategy and style. There's definitely a ceiling here for skill expression, and that's exciting. This is the kind of game where if you pick a character and you really deep dive into them, you're gonna have more fun. Sure, there are rough edges, the camera work needs some love, a few animations could be smoother, and online play definitely isn't flawless, but right now it's a great, solid game. If you're a Bleach fan, I really do think you should check this game out. Just hearing the voice lines, seeing the transformations, and experiencing those one-on-one battles in this art style, it hits in a way that's super nostalgic and fresh at the same time. And if you're not a Bleach fan yet, this is actually a great game to jump into the series. Man, what I would give to be in your position. Of just being able to watch Bleach over again. Damn, I would buy this game, and then I would play this game while having the anime episodes playing on the side on my phone or something. Come on, guys. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know in the comments down below if you're playing this game and which character you're maining. I'm definitely going to be playing more of this game, so I'll post some more videos on it, and just let me know what you guys want to see down below. Like and subscribe, guys. I'll see you later.